Hello and welcome back to Boring Dead Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader, Lex Imperialis, and we're going to go out and continue pretty soon. I did just spend a bit of time going through the traders' inventories and seeing if there was new, primarily new stuff, because obviously there's things like shields added, and actually there was some quite nice shields, so let me show you what I've got. For Solomon, now remember he's now using this double barrel shotgun which only has 2 max ammo, so I found one of the traders, which is gunnery shield, which actually means that reloading a shotgun costs 0 AP. So basically, even though he's got this low clip shotgun, he can keep reloading it. Keep firing it. So that seems good. Did I really get it? I got some boots for him, so if he he uses up his movement points and he's adjacent to enemies, he'll do like a little sort of area damage around him. I got him a slightly better pistol shotgun as well, although I think probably we're going to mainly use this one, but you never know. I've got Abelard now using a shield, so he's kind of split his loadout between 2 one-handed weapons and the same shield. At the end of the turn, the wielder gains 16 temporary wounds for each adjacent ally. Whenever an adjacent ally takes damage, yeah. So he's good with adjacent allies. Basically, we'll see if we can make that work. I mean, someone like him and Solomon will probably be charging in to attack people together. So I mean, that kind of works. Plus, it's got a good shield block chance. And that's largely it. I didn't really change up anything on Dahlia at all. But yeah, let's go. We're going to go and do a couple of things. So I think, where are we? This is where we had the ship battle, isn't it? So let's go to Galaxy now. And there's something about a Aqui Tenebris system. There's some kind of weapon cache or something. We can find that system. I can't remember exactly where it is. Here we go. Tenebris Aqui. So how do I get from there? And the main quest will take me to Dargonus. Actually, I could go. We could do Dargonus and then zip over to Cranach and then Tenebris. So tell you what, let's do that first, because we've got to go. Like I said, we've got to go and travel there. The next step of the DLC main story. And I haven't really read much about the story, so I don't really know what's going to happen, where we're going to go. This is stuff we've built, isn't it? So, have I? Is there anything else I can build? What's this? Pleasing the tired. Is that pretty much the only thing I can do now? I guess we'll do it. Oh. Yeah, I think that's done. I keep leaving here, but let's... How do I land? How long? Hang on. Where? How do I land on this planet? I'm being dumb. It's right in front of me. Right in front of me. It's been a week or so since I played, and before that it had been a year since I played. So I'm a little bit rusty with some of the stuff. Right, so we want to go to our throne room. Are they here, or do I... It's probably chat to Solomon then, I guess.
Rogue Trader, the Marshal is ready to meet with you. Do you wish to commence the audience?
Well, I'd prefer to first know exactly what it is that the head of the Adeptus Arbites in the Expanse wants to see me about.
I do not know the details, but I would assume the procedure is the same as it was in Lady Theodora's time. A personal introduction, a reaffirming of allyship between the dynasty and the Adeptus Arbites, and a discussion of tithe-related affairs.
Yes. I'm ready. Marshal Gregorus Strax. Two markedly distinct figures approach your throne. Marching in front is a man clad in Adeptus Arbites armor. He carries his helmet in the crook of his arm, but his stern facade serves him as well as any visor could. He bows to you sharply.
Marshal Strax of the Adeptus Arbites.
An old woman walks in the Marshal's shadow, her body fitted with dozens of scribing implants and magnifying instruments. If not for her eyes, quick and inquisitive behind a giant pair of ocular lenses, you might have mistaken her for an exotic servitor. Her robes are adorned with sacred symbols of the Adeptus Administratum. Prefect Inscribia Voltur. The woman bows.
Rogue Trader Dahlia von Borinicus von Valancius. I, Prefect Inscribia Voltur, greet you on behalf of the Adeptus Administratum. I will now begin the due procedure of official address to the ruler of Dargonus as formalized by Amendment 4N/10 to Law SK-941. May your name be wreathed in glory for centuries to come. May your fortunes ever proliferate. May the God Emperor bestow upon you a duty worthy of his chosen.
Her monotonous droning is making you weary. It seems she intends to go on for a good while longer. Just listen to the end. The prefect resumes her elaborate formula. You notice a few poorly concealed yawns and frenzied blinking among the crowd. The speech drags on for another 5 minutes, but you pass this test of fortitude honorably. At last, the prefect's address comes to an end. Abelard, what are these people doing in my domain?
Yes, well, a delegation of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbites is accommodated in the von Valancius territory so that they may tally and collect the imperial tithe from your worlds, Lord Captain. Lady Theodora graciously provided them with premises where they could perform their duties and authorized them to restructure the dynasty's archives.
If I may continue for you,
The prefect steps forward, dragging her feet slightly.
as per the decree of Theodora von Valancius ORD-037/3N, representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbites are sanctioned to use the Palace of Justice, oversee tithe collection in the Protectorate, and review any and all cases of tithe avoidance, tithe exceedance, or other irregularities. These rights have been formalized in numerous pacts and statutes under the main decree. Considering your new position, you may have yet to acquaint yourself with all these documents. You are the successor to Lady Theodora, whose alliance with our two sacred organizations forever glorified her as a rogue trader, closely tied to the executors of Holy Terror's will. and we, as representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbites, must verify that you are able to maintain this alliance that has brought such repute to your dynasty.
The prefect scrutinizes you as if trying to estimate your proportions and weight.
That is why we have arrived in person, as the present circumstances have provided us with a chance to see if your intentions concord with those of the late von Valancius.
And what circumstances are those? The prefect's lips contort into a twist.
Our work has been disrupted by unforeseen setbacks regarding communication and transportation. As our requisitioned assets were not adequately prepared, we have lost some of our personnel and resources as a result. The arbitrators are too short-handed to perform all the duties expected of them. Since they first arrived in the Expanse, their numbers, limited from the outset, have only continued to dwindle. After analyzing the situation in accordance with Amendment blah blah blah, we have decided to notify you of a tithe violation committed by one of the worlds in this region. This regrettable lapse must be rectified as quickly as possible.
The old woman shivers and rubs her augmented hands together with an unnerving creak. Okay. And which world was it that had the misfortune of drawing your attention?
Thasera, a feudal world far from the main routes that was bereft of the Imperium's light, then rediscovered less than 2 centuries ago. It supplies agricultural resources and manpower.
Are you implying I have an obligation to help you?
Not at all. You are the Emperor's anointed, and you act solely of your own volition.
The Marshal's voice makes the enforcers in the room flinch. The Prefect, on the other hand, speaks softly, and yet you can hear every word as if she was standing directly beside you.
Your predecessor, Lady Theodora, may the light of the throne illuminate her path in death, always sought to address the needs of both the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbites, because she realized how blessed and important our work is for the good of the Imperium, to say nothing of the fact that she honored the laws of her own dynasty.
Fine, I'll carry forward the responsibilities taken on by Lady Theodora. I offer you my help.
An arbitrator will be assigned to you for increased security. Proctoranta, front and center.
The Marshal's voice thunders over the arbitrator ranks, and Solomon Anthar marches over to your throne, his cyber mastiff at his heel. Thank you for your support. I will go to Thasera as soon as I can.
The Emperor protects.
The Marshal makes the sign of the Aquila in a motion so sharp that you can practically hear it cutting the air. The Prefect adjusts her ocular lenses with a weary sigh.
And once again, no specifics given, of course. In my reports, nobody ever stops to think.
She quickly catches herself and offers you a bow. Give me a doggy. Oops. Alright. So what does this do for us now? We have to go to Thasera. Okay. And we're gonna, well, we'll look at where that is on the old galaxy map, I suppose, but hopefully, well, I think we'll go and we're quite near to where that stash is now. So we'll travel. We're only a couple of jumps away, so we'll travel over there. Might be some nice gear in it potentially. Let's take a quick look. Thasera. I can't remember having been there before, but then I don't remember very much about my previous campaigns, so perhaps that's not too surprising. Right, so where are we? Oh, that's... Okay, so that's over there. One of the riskiest systems for us to get to. I guess I can maybe use like a navigator's thing to make this a bit better. But we're a couple of jumps. Let's do the cache or cash, however you say it. I generally say cash. First of all. Guess we've done this before. I don't want to go personally. Use blessed gifts. Alright, got a safe one. Captain Sargona's cash. Let's go do that. The wearer's incoming damage is reduced by minus 0%. I guess that's related to a stat that Dahlia doesn't have a great deal of. Let's have a quick look. So, what is that? I forget how you know how stuff... Veil degradation. Okay. What clue? Well, okay, so we've got increases the damage of burning effects. I think that for our build that's good, but Solomon doesn't actually have a cape yet, so let's stick that on him. There we go. Alright, well, let's head off then.
Permission to report, your proctor has arrested my voidsman and is demanding his execution. A repeat offender, he says. Please do something, Lord Captain.
Who's the voidsman?
He's one of mine, not as big as an idiot as the rest of the idlers. He understands the control systems. He can make sense of the readouts. Him? A repeat offender?
Bring him to me, I'll interrogate him.
Consider that done, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, I beg you to look into this outrage. This cyber horror nearly chewed up one of my assistants, and one of them's been left without two of his fingers. Instead of calming his beast, the arbitrator attacked my crewman.
Solomon waits for the end of Master Helmsman's words and coolly turns to you.
His crewman is a wanted man, rogue trader. He is accused of subverting sacred tithe shipments, smuggling, kidnapping the Imperium's subjects, and bribing officials. We are not on your... Were we not on your flagship, I would have executed the heretic on the spot. But here, you are the authority and you are the court.
Why are you so certain this is this man you're looking for?
Because I was personally involved in tracking down and purging the shadows of the Abyss Crime Syndicate, to which the perpetrator belongs. The case was in Calixis on the world of Helvica Prime, but for arbitrators, time and distance do not mitigate guilt. The man before you is the former captain of a smuggling ship owned by the Syndicate. Check the heretic's left arm. Every Syndicate member had a distinctive implant by which they recognized each other. It was that implant signature that Glyto picked up during his patrols.
Ravor, did you know about this?
If I went staking my beacon to the pasts of every one of the hundreds of people in the crew, I wouldn't have time to steer a ship. All I know is that when everything went to grok shit in Reichard Manoris, this one oversaw the work at the docks so that the fools didn't trample each other to death in their panic. And later he ran into a friend at the port in Footfall, and they found us some parts within a day. He's even got arms growing out the right places. He might make it a junior helmsman if he keeps it up.
How did a criminal from Calixis find his way onto my ship?
He was among the servants sent to you by Governor Medina.
Can't remember what happened there. Accused, do you have anything to say? The long-haired voidsman flinches when you address him. Your ladyship, the governor of Helvica Prime was a scumbag who abhorred the light of the God Emperor. The things he did to the people under him. We only survived by stealing from him, or else we'd have ended up in a corpse pit, like 1 in 4 did after a distribution station accident. Once I'd got out of there, that was it. I was out of that business for good. And when I found myself in your service, I realized that it was a gift of fate, and I'd be a fool if I didn't repay such good fortune with my wholehearted toil. I've made a decision.
I await your orders, rogue trader.
Master Helmsman shoots a look of naked dislike at Solomon. You will gain capable hands. What does that do? Repairing the void ship requires 15% less scrap. That sounds pretty good. I was going to do this one anyway. Ravor, this talented voidsman is your responsibility. Should he commit any misdeeds henceforth, you will have to answer for them.
Aye, Lord Captain.
Ravor's disgruntled grimace momentarily dissipates, and we've gained capable hands. Rather nice.
Then this case is closed. With your permission, I will return to my duties.
Okay. That seems fine. Let's continue on our journey. Right, so we're going to go back. Yeah, it makes sense to go back here. Then we'll go down here to here. We'll make that a bit safer. Oh, Janus colony event. Where's Janus again? Oh. Right, where do I have to go? No, stop whatever that's doing. Stop it. I can't remember where anything is. There's a new system up there I've not been to. It's not Cranak. Foulstone. Janus, okay, so we're within a jump of that. Go on then. Womp. Right. I think we've seen that one before. Let's jump in. Yeah, let's go here. A fleet belonging to Xavier Calcazar has chased the remnants of a Drakari raid to the von Valancius world and is presently obliterating it from orbit, battering the planet. Okay, we're gonna lose stuff. Tell Marazai to reach an agreement with his kin. Oh, I lost a profit factor. I got quite a lot. Marazai gives his kin the coordinates to a dock where they steal a ship and make their escape from the planet. The Inquisition fleet gives chase, leaving the colony alone. Okay, now do I have anything else to build here? Payment in organs. Ooh, profit factor. Yeah, we'll take more of that. Okay. And there was another one, wasn't there? Oops. No. Oh, we have to go back to... Well, we have to go back to Dargonus anyway, so that's fine. Warp bridge. That'll be fine. Right, so we're going to go to Mundus Nullius. Lord Captain, I humbly request an audience with you. Proctor Anthar is interfering with the crew and is demanding to see all the archival records of fugitive criminals we have ever received from the Imperial Navy. The matter is urgent, if you please, Lord Captain. I'll meet with both of you immediately. Thank you, Lord Captain. Solomon's already stirring things up on the ship, I see. Your Ladyship, Proctor Anthar is interfering in the work of the crew. He is intimidating and threatening them, demanding access to the ship's sealed archives. As for his dog... Vigdis pauses, shifting her gaze to the cybermastiff and tucking her hand behind her back. I humbly request that you take action. Vigdis, what's wrong with your hand?
Allow me to explain. The Voxmaster tried to pet Glyto, which activated his self-defense protocol.
I had to step away from my duties to have my implants replaced.
I already apologized. In any case, what happened was the expected outcome from unauthorized contact with a living weapon of the Adeptus Arbites.
Vigdis, why did you try to pet Glyto?
I didn't.
This is the first time we've ever seen the Voxmaster so agitated.
I did not try to pet him. It is not customary to keep such cyber beasts on a void ship, Lord Captain. This is my first encounter with such a creature. That glider, it was following me all over the bridge.
And you decided to interfere with his work protocol.
Vigdis cast Solomon a cold glance before continuing.
I had studied the archives and found mention of a ritual to establish contact that involves an offering and physical interaction with the beast.
You are literally talking about bribery. Pointless act. Cyber mastiffs cannot be bribed, and neither can arbitrators.
Be silent, both of you. Vigdis falls silent, but she continues to glare daggers at the Proctor surreptitiously. Solomon only nods. Solomon, why are you sabotaging the work of the crew?
I was compelled to intervene as Glyto had intercepted a suspicious signal. The encrypted message contained the words heresy and fugitive. I managed to trace the signal back to the Voxmaster's workstation. I needed to dispatch Glyto on a reconnaissance mission to obtain new evidence and, ultimately, to ensure your safety.
In other words, you sent the beast to follow me.
I questioned the crew in the Voxmaster's absence and established that the wanted bulletins sent by the Imperial Navy were being completely ignored. I suspect that Senior Officer Tolliman is abusing your trust.
Solomon, what are you suggesting?
Your flagship is untouchable for external inspections because of its high status, and criminals are taking advantage of that. So you need an internal audit. You need to pull up the archives of wanted bulletins and double-check the crew records. That is the only way to identify and eliminate potential threats to you.
This is madness for a ship whose officer corps alone comprises hundreds of people. The work hours that would be required for such an audit.
What do you have to say to that, Vigdis? Vigdis presses her hands together.
Reports of fugitive criminals, which number in the hundreds, are of low priority. What's more, I know that Lord Captain Theodora was most adamant on the matter. If you forgive me, her exact words were, "We are not Grok's damned bounty hunters." Proctor would know that if he had brought his questions to me rather than interrogating astropaths and comms officers. As for the Vox transmissions, the frequency on which the senior officers communicate is encrypted. I alerted the bridge to the situation with the voidsman who was brought to you on the bridge to stand trial. Need I remind the Lord Captain that Proctor Anthar has no authority to access transmissions conducted by senior officers on the rogue trader's flagship, not to mention that the signal was wrongfully intercepted.
Did you know that one of the voidsmen was a fugitive heretic?
No, Lord Captain, he was not on the list of wanted criminals in the Cronus Expanse. I assume it is because of the relative insignificance of the heresies he was accused of by the Calixian authorities. Perhaps Proctor Anthar had information to which the Imperial Navy does not have access.
Alright, ready to make a decision. Vigdis and Solomon look at you expectantly. There is no need for an audit. I trust my officers to keep everything under control.
Thank you, Lord Captain.
As you command, rogue trader.
Not winning friends and influencing people, is he? Alright, so we're going to go to Latoshan's Passage. Not bad. Okay, chart new routes, so we're going to have to do that. That's quite cool. So, yeah, we should probably have... Where was that? Yeah, head up towards... Like maybe... Oh, yeah, from here. We can maybe do that again and get some stuff going there. So, let's make this a little bit safer. Let's make it yellow. Yellow's not too bad. Ooh, do chart new routes again. That's good. We get some more of our navigator insight thing going. Let's visit.
Lord Captain, we have received a Voxcast from Thassara. The signal quality is rather poor, but the meaning is clear. The world is expecting your ladyship's arrival. Great festivities have been arranged, and a delegation led by the planetary governor is ready to give you a welcome worthy of an honored guest.
Okay. So that's Thassara. Why don't we look at other stuff first, though? Scrap box. Yep. So, dead world, no resources. That's fine. I should remember to repair this as well. Oh, what have we got? Amid the lifeless rocks and lava lakes, the ship's augurs have detected something resembling buildings. There is something off with their outlines, but their presence in and of itself suggests there may be some valuables to uncover amongst the ruins. Send a scout team. The scouts are able to discern Imperium symbols on the buildings. Deformed and fused together by high temperatures, the ore mining structures tell a sad story. Centuries ago, the planet and all its riches perished beneath the radiance of the system's expanding sun. So did we get anything? Doesn't seem like it. No resources. Promethium. How am I doing for that? I could pop an extractium down. How do I do that again? Oh, I click on this, don't I? Let's do that. Ooh, we've leveled up. Okay. We'll deal with that in the fullness of time. The servitor band. A richly dressed man riding a sinewy horse breaks off from the procession. When he approaches, you immediately notice a strange detail. The man's face is pinned to his head with precious fastenings that stretch the skin across his skull.
Oh, celestial guest, there is no higher honor for us than to extend our hospitality to such noble eminences. Her Celestial Highness, the Rogue Trader, and an illustrious judge of the Imperium. All of Thassaera clamours, trembles, and cheers. Ruoldo, the fair-faced Governor of Thassaera, at your service.
I thank you for the courteous welcome, Governor. However, we have come here to address a grave concern.
Oh, but of course, your Celestial Highness. It would be my pleasure to discuss whatever topic you have in mind. That said, you have had such a long and perilous journey behind you. Like any self-respecting host, I must first propose...
Bluff, the court fool. A smaller figure steps out of the rider's shadow, dressed in the motley attire of a court fool and wearing a sneering mask.
My name is Bluff. I am Lord Roaldo's good mood. I tickle his governorship with well-spouted jests and itty-bitty gossip. And now I merrily doff my cap to our celestial lords and ladies, and hand them this here key to Thassaera as a token of our boundless loyalty.
The fool bows and offers you his gifts. I'm deeply suspicious of Bluff, the court fool, actually. I'm not just going to take his gift. I'm tempted to strike him. Do your servants often interrupt their rulers' conversations without permission, Governor?
Oh, the embarrassment.
The governor leans down from his horse and grabs the fool's hand. Having wrenched the key from Bluff's grasp, Roldo raises his hand to strike, and the fool quickly backs off. Finally, the governor offers the gift to you with a reverential bow. I don't know if I want this. I'm deeply suspicious of it. Awareness 100%. Look at the governor. The governor's heavy gold-stitched jacket adds a certain presence to his figure, but it cannot hide how poor of a rider he is. The way his boots dig into the horse's sides, his hands fiddling with the reins, his trembling fingers, all speak of nervousness and lack of control. Abelard, announce the purpose of our visit to these provincials. Abelard clears his throat.
Her Ladyship, Ladyship Dahlia von Borinicus, von Valancius, inheritor of the greatest protectorate of the Coronis Expanse, and bearer of the sacred warrant, has graced Thessera with her presence in order to discuss matters pertaining to this planet's tithe.
Enough! According to Data Protocol, Calixis Sigma UX-11-4, this Mu-class planet, type Feudal, Astimar rating E874 with an assigned tithe grade of Solutio Extremis, is not provided its due tithe amount in full. You have violated the Lex, and are hereby under investigation. You are to present all related customs reports and shipping manifests, immediately.
The proctor's voice carries no emotion, and Glyto silently bares his teeth, completing the image of the implacable hand of justice that has arrived on Thessera.
Oh, I'm most flattered by your attention, esteemed judge, and by this opportunity to serve the Imperium with even greater dedication than before. Speaking of dedication, we are already conducting a thorough investigation to see which scribe it was that bungled the tithe calculation. Fear not, the scoundrels soon shall be...
Excuses are the hallmark of the guilty. Do not make your situation worse, Governor.
Roldo clasps his hands together and says meekly,
Of course, Master Judge. I will provide you with all of the documents as soon as our internal review is complete. I assure you it won't take long, and the report itself will be exhaustive.
You heard the proctor. Take us somewhere we can have a serious conversation.
Well, in that case, please proceed to the castle. All of Thessera has been awaiting your arrival, busily preparing the finest dishes, entertainments in your honor. So I fear it may be challenging for you to avoid attention. Let us have a court lady accompany you.
Maeve, a thin woman emerges into the torchlight, looking at you with a mixture of fear and awe. Her diminutive figure is practically drowning in her velvet and silk dress, and a resplendent necklace of blue stone adorns her neck.
Maeve, my celestial lady, at your service.
Solomon leans closer and says in a lowered voice,
Based on my experience, I would say we have been assigned a spy under a pretense of generosity. But this is a good thing. We will use this young woman as our source of information about the world. But now it would be wise to play along and question her thoroughly once we are away from prying ears.
Let's put her at, if we're going to pump her for info, let's put her at ease. Relax, Maeve. Just pretend you're giving a good friend a tour of the place. Maeve smiles sheepishly.
I'm afraid that's easier said than done, my celestial lady. It would be like trying to imagine a mighty sun as a tiny ember. But I will do my best not to anger you by acting too nervous.
Very well, I would like to see what this place has to offer.
I can tell by what I'm hearing that our executioner has already lit up the Phesmorpheus, ready to give the condemned a warm welcome. Which means the governor's official scoop collector, that's me, has a whole lot of important business to get to. And so, I must leave you now, good sirs and ladies, lest I miss out on a hot batch of juicy tales. Terribly pleased to meet you all. Honored Judge.
Bluff grasps Solomon's hand and gives it a vigorous shake. I do not trust this Bluff. Oh, wow. Before you can even blink, the cybermastiff beside him sinks its teeth into Bluff's forearm, jerking it back and forth in a fury. The attack lasts only for a moment, but when Glyto lets go, the fool's limb is already torn to shreds. With a cry of pain, Bluff leaps away and melds into the roiling crowd. Solomon ruffles Glyto's neck and turns to you.
Feudal worlds are really known for their bureaucratic precision. Reconnaissance on the ground will tell us more than any report hastily scribbled down by these blockheads. I suggest we attend this trial. Let's see some local justice in action.
Let's go then. We must not miss the biggest local spectacle.
It's not a question of preference, but of what might help the investigation. The execution will gather a crowd, and we in turn will gather information. That will prove useful, considering how eager everyone was to make their exit.
Solomon looks at the crowd, staring at you in wonder and trepidation.
So, Celestial Lady, your coming is a historic event for these people. They'll be watching your every step, and your actions may well transform their lives on this underdeveloped world.
Alright. Okay, well, let's do leveling up, shall we? So what have I got? What am I? Anytime a Voidborn character scores a crit, there's a 10% chance to double it. No, I don't mind that. Decreases veil degradation. It's not bad. Heroic acts. Well, it's not bad. I don't know if I have a way of setting myself on fire is the only thing. Yeah, let's make ourselves basically impervious to fire. Oh god, so does it say what my... Okay. So is that saying what I've got? 125. I'm just trying to see what I've obviously been leveling. Willpower seems like a good one. Yeah, we'll keep going on willpower, that makes sense. Blood. Yeah. Less damage, I guess. Now, toughness 65, strength 85. Strength makes sense. Argenter. Ooh. Yeah, I think that one seems good. Imagine ballistic skill, although I haven't got that here. Maybe perception. Fragility. Perception. Okay, I don't have anything favorited for navigators, so what's she got? Anything with a stratagem, just, I don't know, my eyes cross a little bit, I think. Anything that doesn't say stratagem, because I don't really get it. None of this just seems that... I don't really use this feature of her build, to be honest. Fine, whatever, don't care. Intelligence or willpower, I imagine. Oh, actually, intelligence is quite low. Fellowship is high. I wonder why our fellowship's so high. Eh. Give her that, though. Yeah, I'll take more armor pen and I guess probably perception. Oh, but I didn't see that he had ballistic skill available, so we'll do that. Nothing I've favorited. Oh god. The familiar stronger? Yeah, why not? Now what have I been doing here? He can't do ballistic skill. We'll do perception, I guess. Okay, right, that's done. Now what am I doing? Guess we're just exploring, huh? You talk to Maeve? Oh, she's run off. Noticing your gaze, Maeve turns to you.
My celestial lady?
She hesitates before continuing.
They say you're the God Emperor's anointed. Have you truly seen him?
Alas, no, our God Emperor resides on Holy Terra, many light centuries from here. To behold him is a privilege denied to all but a few. Maeve lets out a forlorn sigh.
I wish I could see him, but I'm sure his splendour is so dazzlingly bright that one glance upon his visage is enough to blind a person on the spot. Oh, pardon me, you probably wanted to ask me something, didn't you?
Solomon casts a quick look around as if... glance around as if looking for someone and then nods at you confidently. How do you find living at the Governor's Court?
I dare not complain, my celestial lady. Lesser nobles such as myself sometimes receive punishment for angering our lords, but that is good in a way. I think it makes me cleaner and brighter on the inside and helps me better serve the God Emperor, the holder of the key to all our destinies.
Maeve makes the sign of the Aquila and turns a reverent gaze upon you. You called the Emperor the holder of the keys to all destinies. Why?
Forgive me if I said something wrong, my lady. Preacher Antiochus said that the God Emperor holds the key to all destinies in his celestial hand. He himself sits at the very top of the great tower of humankind, from there gazing out over the worlds and stars of his domain. He sees all, knows all, and a bloody tear rolls down his cheek when he reads our shameful thoughts and deeds in the annals of our lives. But those who strive, who do not let the seed of evil into their hearts, he will reward with a new destiny, a new life higher and better than the one before. With the turn of his key, he unlocks the dungeon of their souls. I live in hope that one day he will come to my door.
Maeve's smile is one of sad resignation.
How fascinating. And what are you going to do to get a better destiny?
I can hope. Pray earnestly, try to be virtuous and diligent. And if I manage to please the celestial lady, then maybe, just maybe, the Emperor will take notice.
Why did the God Emperor lock people in a dungeon?
In the time of darkness, the God Emperor walled up the Tower of Humankind against fiends and monsters to keep it safe from evil. But evil had already planted its seed in thousands upon thousands of human souls. He locked them in the dungeon of the tower so that they might first eradicate the evil in their thoughts. All our lives we atone for our transgression against the God Emperor, and after death we return to his judgment. But that is our burden to bear, my lady. When I see you and realise that before me stands his anointed, one blessed by his godly hand, there's no one happier than I.
What do you think of the Governor?
Oh, he's a wonderful person, so considerate and generous. But of course his venerable age has taken its toll. He behaves oddly from time to time, but we all have our quirks, don't we?
He behaves oddly. How so?
Well, he gave me a lovely Thercertium necklace just before you arrived. Strange, is it not? To bestow such a treasure on someone of the lower nobility. I also noticed that we've been conversing more of late, and it's been easier. Sometimes I think he knows me better than I know myself.
So, this governor has never favored you like this before. Perhaps the appointment to escort the rogue trader also came as a surprise.
Maeve blinks in astonishment.
Well, that is so, my Lord Judge. I still wonder why the God Emperor saw fit to bestow such a tremendous honour upon me.
Tell me about Bluff the Fool. How did he win the governor's favour?
He is the best among all the court servants.
Maeve looks down, but you catch the fear in her eyes.
He always knew how to make the noble lords laugh. But at first, Dan's jokes were just funny pranks and puns. Those were wonderful, almost impossible times.
Something happened and Dan changed, did he not? That is his name, yes?
Yes, he seemed to retreat into himself all of a sudden, and he started snapping back at people, saying sarcastic, scathing things. His jokes were simple before, but now there's always a nasty bite to them. And he started exploding at every little thing and ordering me about my own brother.
Having said all this, she freezes in fear, turning white as a sheet.
Oh, apologies for my lack of restraint.
For a brief moment, a deep wrinkle cuts across Solomon's forehead.
So your brother is not his usual self. This world is a tangled web indeed.
Alright, let's continue our walk.
As you wish, Celestial Lady.
Right, well, that amulet she's wearing, the necklace, is obviously like a bug, or maybe even like a mind-reading device of some kind, I expect.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Hey Glyto, are you barking because there was a secret there, or is this... I think he's sniffed out that secret, but I kind of saw that it was there anyway. What's this? The Chronicles of Fate by Gorgorius Falt. I mean, we'll take it. I'm not going to read all that. Unless it seems like I should. Ooh, how do we get up there? Over the... Wait, actually, no. How do we get there? Alright, let's... We're going this way first.
True power.
We'll probably find a way. Maybe this is the end. Alright, let's go the other way then. Part 1. Let's take it.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
My warp sight reveals something.
Yeah, he spots secrets, I think, doesn't he? Okay, we can open that up.
Operation successful.
Is this... It's like an elevator to another level, but... it doesn't seem to be operating for us.
Intriguing.
Okay, it's quite a long way around to get to that goods, but we'll keep going around. This is going to be part 3. Yes, it might become important, I don't know. Oh, hello. Thessarian, as you approach the noble's bow gracefully, they're sewn on faces are they're like the, which Star Trek film was it? Was it It's like Nemesis or something like that, when there was a race of peoples who had their faces kind of stretched over their skulls. I think it was like the ninth Star Trek film with the Next Generation crew. I think it was Nemesis, but I can't exactly remember. And their eyes gleam with earnest subservience. One dares to address you.
Oh, celestial lady, grace us with your regard. When my brother and I heard of your arrival, we immediately sought to surprise you with an exceptional gift.
The ancient scrolls tell of a wonder, a clockwork sage by the name of Gogikor. It knows all the answers to all questions, can make other machines do its bidding, and may even predict the future. My brother and I have borne many a hardship, but we managed to acquire the magic contraption for our much-cherished guest.
The box in front of you, presumably the Cogikor they speak of, exudes a strong odour of ritual oils. Made of thin planks, it is covered in so many purity seals that it seems to be held together by them alone. A stack of flimsy rough paper lies atop it, and there is a mica panel with malachite buttons attached to the front. A thin slit is visible among the buttons. Abelard sighs heavily and leans over to you.
Sometimes, when information reaches the more backward worlds, it undergoes strange metamorphoses in the minds of the unfortunate and regrettably parochial laypeople. Have mercy, Lord Captain, they probably have been trying to please you.
After a chronoturn of heavy silence, Pascal finally intones,
I am registering an act of imitation of sanctity. This cultural phenomenon is typical of underdeveloped tribes. I also anticipate the discovery of cave pictograms dedicated to the divine arrival of more advanced units.
Listen to the sounds coming from the box. There is barely audible breathing coming from the box. Whoever is inside wants very much not to be noticed. Glyto stalks towards the box and bares his fangs, while Solomon frowns grimly at the device.
Really? Then again, what else could you expect from this ignorant world?
There is something I wish to ask this Cogikor.
Oh, if I may advise the celestial lady, in order to receive an answer, one should take a piece of paper and slide it into the hole there. Then touch this stone and ask the question, loudly and clearly.
Cogikor, what is the punishment for liars and frauds? The box holds the paper for a long time. When the sheet finally emerges from the slot, it is visibly shaking. You see the words, immolation. Please don't. Solomon folds his arms and leans towards the slot, his voice ringing with steel.
Machines cannot feel fear, Gogikor. They can only meekly accept their fate.
The Proctor catches your gaze and shrugs.
I couldn't help myself.
Let's ask all these, they might be funny. Cogikor, what is the distance between Earth and sky? The sheet you offer is consumed with a speed beyond that of ordinary autoquill. After a few moments, the sheet returns with a single notation. Lots. Cogikor, what does the future have in store for me? The sheet shoots back out of the box and falls to the ground. It bears a solemn inscription. Glory everlasting. Cogikor, answer only yes or no. Is your next answer going to be no? The miraculous device reluctantly accepts the offered paper and makes a vague moan-like sound. After a languid moment of waiting, you are presented with a sheet that reads, which most likely means error. Enough questions for now.
As you wish, don't hesitate to pose more questions. There's enough ink for many more answers.
What a rare and magnificent gift. I shall be honoured to display it in my chambers.
Our hearts flutter at the opportunity to please the celestial lady. May the sagacious machine assist you in your endeavours.
Alright, well, we've got the box in our room now. See what happens there. Got some goods. Let's Glyto back.
The world will bow, triumphant as
The horses
always.
glance at you with an odd curiosity. One of them pulls its muzzle closer and clacks its teeth. Almost too greedily and hungrily for a harmless herbivore. Interesting. Enormous gate locked fast. What have you got there, Glyto? Good boy. Let's see, we have Bloody Sacrament, Power Hammer. Doesn't seem to do a huge amount of damage. Tell you what, let's put that in cargo.
I tread a path unexplored.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality. My success is irrefutable.
The blacksmith has somehow managed to forge shells and casings. These are unusual objects to find on a feudal world. There is no doubt as to what they are. Okay, can we... they're making ballistic weapons when they shouldn't be able to. What's happened here? Oh. Someone disfigured the corpse's face and threw the body off the parapet. Yeah, I know. Alright, let's climb up.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
Immaterium Shroud. Okay. I wonder if it's restricted to the Overseer class, or whether we might actually get a companion animal at some point. I suspect probably the latter. Can we open the gate?
Lesson learned.
Nice. Cool. Well, we've got a little shortcut up there now, if we want one.
Embrace true power.
Okay, guess we continue up. Look at the map. This seems like quite a big area. Maybe stuff I missed, but I have been holding this down. I mean, there's lots more to explore here, obviously, and a quick check on the time tells me that's probably a good place to leave it for now. I think, I rather think that's probably the execution we're here to see, but we'll get into that next time. So I'll just say thanks very much for watching. Maybe you've enjoyed this episode. We're starting to get into the meat of the DLC story now, I think, and we'll do so more next time. If you have enjoyed it, as I hope you have, if you could hit that thumbs up button, that's always appreciated. Do leave me a comment as well. Let me know what you think of the DLC so far. Is it something you're playing as well? You know, is it something you might pick up at some point? Let me know. And, you know, if you're watching this and not yet subscribed to the channel, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.